Did you know the food you've been relying on for strength might actually be accelerating your muscle loss? Today, I'm sharing something that could change your health forever after 50. If you've noticed it's getting harder to get up in the morning, climb stairs, or simply keep your energy up through the day, this might be exactly what you need to hear. There's one food almost everyone believes is healthy, yet many of us are eating it completely wrong. I'm talking about eggs. Yes, the very same eggs your doctor praised for their high-quality protein, the ones you've probably been eating faithfully each morning, thinking you're protecting your health. Here's the shocker. Your current way of eating eggs might actually be undermining your muscles more than you realize. Have you heard of sarcopenia? It's the slow but relentless loss of muscle mass that begins around 30 and accelerates sharply after 50. We're talking a 3% to 8% muscle loss every decade. In just 20 years, that could mean up to a 16% drop in your strength and mobility. The scary part? Research now shows that certain common mistakes with eggs can make that decline happen up to 40% faster. Yes, the very food that should help preserve muscle might be quietly tearing it down. In the next few minutes, I'll walk you through the 7 major mistakes people over 50 make with eggs. Mistakes so widespread that there's a good chance you're making at least one right now. These errors lead to rapid muscle decline, constant fatigue without clear cause, balance issues, reduced ability to handle daily tasks, and worst of all, earlier dependence on others. But there's good news. You can fix them. I'll share the exact method thousands have used to rebuild muscle and regain energy, using nothing more than eggs eaten the right way. Before we dive into the first mistake, let me tell you about Maria, a 68-year-old patient who came to see me 8 months ago. She'd been eating 2 eggs for breakfast every single day for 15 years, exactly as her doctor had advised. But in just 3 years, she'd lost so much strength she couldn't carry groceries or get up from a low seat without help. Her tests revealed something shocking. Her amino acid levels looked like someone suffering from protein deficiency, even though she was eating eggs daily. How? Because she was unknowingly making 6 of the 7 mistakes we'll cover today. Once she corrected them, she regained 23% of her lost muscle in just 6 months and got back to living fully. If she could do it at 68, think what's possible for you, if you learn exactly what to avoid and how to correct it. Here's the truth. It's not about piling on more eggs. It's about eating them correctly. Every mistake I'll share is supported by solid science. Not trends or untested opinions, but proven facts that could decide whether you stay strong and independent or watch your abilities fade too soon. Before I reveal it, leave a comment below sharing where you're watching from and how old you are. Let's see how many of us are choosing to protect our strength as we age. So, settle in, because these next few minutes may be the most valuable for your muscle health. And be sure to stick with me until the end, because I'll give you a full step-by-step plan you can start using tomorrow. Mistake number 1, poor protein timing. Let's begin with the first mistake, one that's so widespread you've probably made it yourself. I call it the breakfast-only habit, where all your egg consumption is crammed into a single meal, usually breakfast. Think about it. How many times have you been told eggs are the ultimate morning food? While that's partly true, the rest of the story reveals why this approach might be quietly draining your muscle mass. Your body isn't like a gas tank that can be filled once and left alone. It's more like a car engine that needs fuel at regular intervals to keep running smoothly. For muscle protein synthesis, there's a cap on how much protein your body can use in one sitting. Research from the University of Arkansas Center for Aging Research shows that adults over 50 require about 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein per meal to trigger muscle-building processes, significantly higher than the 15-20 grams younger adults need. Here's the catch. One large egg has around 6 grams of protein. So even if you eat 3 eggs at breakfast, that's only 18 grams. Too little to fully switch on your muscle-building system. And the problem isn't just quantity, it's how you spread it out. Imagine watering a garden just once a day, dumping all the water at once. Some plants would be drenched, others left dry, and by evening most would suffer. The same happens with your muscles. A big spike of amino acids after breakfast lasts only about 3 hours, and your body can't store the extra for later use. The rest of the day, up to 20 hours, your muscles can slip into a breakdown state, using their own tissue to meet your body's needs. In a Journal of Nutrition study, 120 older adults followed two eating patterns for 12 weeks. One group had 30 grams of egg protein only at breakfast. The other group split that evenly into 3 meals, 10 grams each at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The results? The evenly spaced group saw a 25% boost in muscle protein synthesis versus just 8% in the breakfast-only group. They also retained 34% more muscle mass, gained 28% more leg strength, improved balance and coordination by 19%, and experienced less daily fatigue. The takeaway? It's not about eating more eggs, it's about spacing them wisely to keep your body in an anabolic, building state all day. The fix is straightforward, but requires new habits. Aim for 1 or 2 eggs every 4 to 6 hours to maintain steady amino acid levels. That might mean 1 egg at breakfast, 1 at lunch, and 1 at dinner, or 2 at breakfast and 2 at dinner, spaced 6 hours apart. Correcting this first mistake sets the stage for better strength and energy. But there's another error that's just as common. In fact, 89% of older adults make it daily, unknowingly destroying up to 35% of an egg's nutritional value. It's something you do automatically in the kitchen, and it may even be the reason you sometimes feel heavy or uncomfortable after eating eggs. That's mistake number 2, and it's eye-opening. Mistake number 2, nutrient-destroying cooking. Now let's dive into the second mistake, nutrient-destroying cooking. And by destroying, I mean you're breaking down the vital amino acids your body relies on to maintain muscle strength. Ever wonder why your grandmother's scrambled eggs tasted amazing but didn't seem to give you lasting energy? Or why you sometimes feel sluggish or bloated after eating eggs? The culprit often comes down to how and at what temperature you cook them. Nearly 9 out of 10 people over 50 make this mistake daily without realizing they're robbing their eggs of their nutritional value. Here's the science. It's called heat-induced protein denaturation. Think of the protein in an egg as a flawless pearl necklace. Each pearl an amino acid, perfectly arranged for your body to use. Expose it to high heat, over 180 degrees so, 356 degrees, and that order is destroyed. It's like tossing the necklace into a knot of tangled pearls, forcing your body to work up to 3 times harder to use the amino acids. Research from California's Food Technology Institute found that eggs cooked at very high heat lost as much as 35% of their usable protein, especially leucine, which is critical for older adults to build muscle. The problem is most of us learned to cook eggs in an era when the priority was killing bacteria quickly, not preserving nutrition. This meant high heat was the go-to. Great for safety, bad for protein integrity. Let's guess your method. Pan on medium-high, oil or butter sizzling, eggs in, cook fast. Sound familiar? That pan can hit 200 degrees, far past the damage point. The worst offenders? High-heat scrambled eggs. If the eggs are popping in the pan, the proteins are already breaking down. Those tiny hard bits? Overcooked protein your body struggles to process? Fried until whites are solid? A tough, fully opaque white signals excessive heat. The best texture is still soft and slightly translucent. Fast-browned omelets. Quick browning means burned proteins on the outside, undercooked risk on the inside. The fix? Switch to gentle methods that protect up to 95% of the nutrition. Low-heat cooking. Take it slow. 2-3 minutes longer is worth it. If you can hold your hand 10 centimeters over the pan for 5 seconds, the heat is safe. Moist, gentle cooking. Start on medium-low with a splash of water in the butter or oil. Let it steam gently before adding eggs. For scrambled, stir slowly on low heat for 6 to 8 minutes for creamy perfection. Poaching. Ideal for preserving proteins. Water should be around 85 degrees C. Small bubbles. No rolling boil. Omelets. Use low-medium heat and fold instead of flipping. letting residual heat finish the job without scorching the proteins. And if you think you've got egg cooking mastered, just wait for mistake number 3. It's about foods that block up to 60% of amino acid absorption. You might be eating them with eggs right now without knowing it. Mistake number 3, the deadly duo effect. Here's mistake number 3, and it's a sneaky one because it involves foods most people think are good for them. I call it the deadly duo effect, where pairing eggs with the wrong foods can rob you of up to 60% of their valuable protein. Imagine, you wake up, cook your eggs perfectly using all the right methods, eat them faithfully every morning, but unknowingly mix them with foods that quietly block the amino acids your muscles are craving. Your gut doesn't process nutrients in neat isolation. It's more like a crowded freeway where different nutrients fight for the same on-ramps. When eggs are combined with certain foods, they cause nutrient pileups that keep protein from being fully absorbed. Dr. Robert Wolfe, a leading expert in protein metabolism, has found that some compounds can slash amino acid absorption in older adults by 40% to 60%. The tricky part? These compounds often hide in foods we believe make a healthy breakfast. Let's uncover the culprits. Inhibitor 1. Phytates. Known as anti-nutrients, phytates are abundant in whole grains, oats, whole wheat bread, and seeds. Sound familiar? That healthy plate of eggs with whole wheat toast might be working against you. Phytates attach to amino acids like leucine and lysine, locking them away from absorption. A University of Illinois study showed that just one slice of whole wheat bread with eggs can cut leucine absorption by up to 45%. Inhibitor 2. Tannins. Found in coffee, tea, and wine, tannins cling to proteins and make them harder for your body to use. Think about how many times you've paired eggs with coffee. It's a nutrition roadblock. Tannins are why red wine leaves that dry feeling in your mouth. They bind to your saliva's proteins. In a University of Barcelona study, older adults who waited 2 hours after eating eggs to drink coffee had 38% better muscle mass retention than those who had them together. Inhibitor 3. Excess calcium. Surprisingly, too much calcium at the same meal can hinder protein absorption. Not the small amount in eggs, but from dairy eaten alongside them, like milk with scrambled eggs or yogurt in an omelet. Calcium competes with amino acids for absorption, and your body often prioritizes it. Research from Dr. Elena Volpe at the University of Texas shows that over 400 milliliters of calcium in the same meal can cut muscle protein synthesis by up to 25% in older adults. Inhibitor 4. Excess fiber. Those super healthy breakfasts of eggs with spinach, broccoli, oats, and fruit can form a fiber trap that wraps around proteins and ushers them out before your body can use them. Fiber is essential for digestion, but timing matters. More than 15 grams in the same meal as eggs sharply reduces their protein availability. The most damaging combos I often see are eggs plus whole wheat toast plus coffee, phytates, gluten, and tannins all at once. Omelet with spinach plus orange juice, oxalates and excess vitamin C, scrambled eggs plus oats plus milk, phytates, calcium overload, and fiber. Eggs plus beans plus coffee, double phytates plus tannins. Does this mean you should cut these foods entirely? Not at all. Just time them better. Your body needs about 90 minutes to absorb the amino acids from eggs. During that window, steer clear of the protein blockers above. Here's the ideal approach. Eat eggs solo, or with healthy fats like avocado or olive oil. Wait 90 minutes before having coffee, tea, or phytate-rich foods. Keep high-fiber foods at least 2 hours apart from eggs. Enjoy dairy in separate meals. Coming up after the break, I'll walk you through mistakes 4, 5, 6, and 7. And one of them is so serious, it might be draining up to 40% of your muscle mass, even if you're doing everything else right. If you're still watching or enjoying this video, go ahead and give it a like. It really helps support the channel. Mistake number 4, the illusion of quantity. Welcome back. Hopefully, you've been taking notes on the first 3 mistakes, because this next one might completely shift how you think about egg consumption after age 50. Mistake number 4 is what I call the illusion of quantity, and it's one of the main reasons millions of older adults live with an unnoticed protein shortage. The tricky part? Even many health professionals fall for it when giving broad advice. A question I hear all the time is, so how many eggs should I eat in a day? The common answer you'll get is, oh, 1 or 2 should be fine. But here's the real story. If you're over 50 and only eating 1 or 2 eggs daily, you're quietly working against your muscle health. That advice comes from nutrition guidelines meant for young, healthy people, not for older adults battling sarcopenia. It's like expecting the same driving instructions to work for a sports car and an 18-wheeler. It just doesn't add up. 1 large egg contains roughly 6 grams of high-quality protein. Sounds decent, right? The problem is your body needs to hit something called the leucine threshold to switch on muscle protein synthesis. Leucine is the amino acid that signals your muscles to repair and grow. For younger adults, this threshold is around 2.5 grams of leucine per meal, but once you pass 50, you need about 2.8 to 3.2 grams because of anabolic resistance, meaning your muscles become less responsive and need a stronger push to start building protein. Let's break it down. 1 large egg has around 0.5 grams of leucine. Eat 2 eggs and you're only at 1 gram, far from the muscle-building trigger point. That's like trying to start your car with a battery that's nearly dead. It might work on a lucky day, but most of the time, it won't. To hit the 3-gram leucine target after 50, you'd need about 6 eggs in 1 meal. And before you start worrying about cholesterol, here's the good news. Recent research, including a 2019 meta-analysis of over 500,000 people, shows dietary cholesterol has little impact on blood cholesterol for most people, particularly later in life. One study that really opened my eyes came from Dr. Stuart Phillips at McMaster University. He tracked 48 adults aged 65 to 75 for 12 weeks, splitting them into 3 groups. Group 1 ate 2 eggs daily, 12 g protein. Group 2 ate 4 eggs daily, 24 green protein. Group 3 ate 6 eggs daily, 36 green protein. The outcome? Group 1 lost 2.3% muscle mass. Group 2 maintained theirs. Group 3 boosted muscle mass by 4.7% and improved strength by 23%. All groups ate the same calories and did identical workouts. The only change was the egg count. To grasp why protein needs increase after 50, think of your muscles like a plant. When you're young, a small watering can keeps it thriving. But as you age, it's like the plant develops a waxy coating, and you need a heavier flow to reach the roots. In scientific terms, your muscles become less sensitive to anabolic triggers, so the same amount of amino acids that once worked now has to be higher to get results. Dr. Douglas Padden-Jones describes it as an old engine needing more fuel to climb the same hill. Not broken, just less efficient. So, how many eggs should you eat? Here's the method I recommend. 1. Find your weight in kilograms. 2. Multiply by 1.4 to get daily protein in grams. 3. Divide that by 3 main meals. 4. Every 6 grams of protein equals 1 egg. For example, at 70 kilos, 70 x 1.4 are 98 gram protein daily. 98, 3, 32.6 gram per meal. 32.6, 6, 5.4 eggs per meal. Yes, that's about 5 to 6 eggs each main meal if they're your primary protein source. But before you decide that's too many, mistake number 5 is so sneaky that it can prevent your body from absorbing the full benefit of your eggs, even if you're eating the right amount. Mistake number 5, the hidden threat. We've arrived at the 5th mistake, and it's especially frustrating because it can quietly undo much of your previous hard work. I call it the hidden threat because it's something you see all the time in grocery stores, sitting innocently on the shelf next to a far better version of itself. I'm talking about the type of eggs you choose. And before you think, an egg is just an egg, let me share research that will completely change how you select them from now on. The difference between a cheap 2-a-dozen carton and a pasture-raised option could be the deciding factor between rebuilding muscle strength or watching it slowly fade away. This isn't hype. The nutrient gap is so wide that they may as well be entirely different foods. An egg's quality is directly linked to the hen's diet and lifestyle. a reality the food industry doesn't want you to think too deeply about. A hen confined to a cramped cage, eating only processed corn and soy laced with hormones and antibiotics, cannot produce the same egg as one that roams on open pasture, foraging on insects, grasses, and organic feed. Dr. Karen Applegate at the University of Pennsylvania compared eggs from various farming methods, and her findings, cited over 200 times, were eye-opening. Here's what the data shows when comparing conventional to pasture-raised eggs, omega-3s. Up to 6 times more in pasture-raised eggs, vital for lowering the inflammation that speeds muscle decline. Without adequate omega-3s, even top-quality protein won't work at its best. Vitamin E, as much as triple the amount, protecting muscle cell walls during activity and repair. Beta-carotene, up to 7-fold higher, giving yolks their deep orange color and boosting antioxidant support for muscle recovery. Amino acids, notably leucine, essential for triggering muscle protein building, can be up to 23% higher. Here's the bigger problem with conventional eggs. They may actually fuel chronic inflammation. Factory-farmed hens are routinely given antibiotics to offset disease risk in overcrowded, unsanitary barns. The leftover residues, combined with an omega-6 heavy fat profile from their corn and soy-based diet, contribute to low-grade inflammation. And chronic inflammation, research shows, is a major driver of sarcopenia. A University of Illinois trial tracked 120 older adults for 6 months. Both groups ate 4 eggs per day and followed the same exercise routine. One group ate conventional eggs, the other pasture-raised. Results were dramatic. Conventional egg group, 2.1% muscle gain, 8% drop in inflammation, 12% strength boost. Pasture-raised egg group, 6.7% muscle gain, 34% drop in inflammation, 28% strength boost. Same egg count, same workouts, radically different outcomes simply due to egg quality. So, how do you spot the best ones? Certifications. Pasture-raised. Hens spend 6+ hours daily outdoors. Certified organic? No antibiotics, pesticides, or GMOs. And omega-3 enriched. Feed designed for higher omega-3 content. Visual check. A rich orange yolk, firm whites that hold shape, and strong shells indicate quality. Freshness test. A fresh egg sinks completely in water. If it floats or tilts upright, it's past its prime. Cost is the main hesitation. Yes, pasture-raised eggs cost 3 to 4 times more, but think strategically. You might need just 4 to 6 premium eggs for optimal benefits, compared to 6 to 8 lower quality ones for average results. Factor in the savings from skipping extra supplements, avoiding medical bills linked to muscle loss, and protecting your independence. The value becomes clear. Mistake number 6. Neglecting proper hydration. We've arrived at the 6th mistake, and this one often slips under the radar, even among doctors and nutrition experts, when discussing protein intake. I call it neglected hydration, and it's the reason why many people, despite eating eggs regularly, see only part of the benefits they could. The question almost no one asks is, what happens to dietary protein if your body doesn't have the water it needs to process it efficiently? The answer sheds light on why some experience remarkable improvements from more eggs, while others notice barely any difference. To grasp this mistake, you must understand something most people overlook. Muscle protein synthesis demands a significant amount of water. And I'm not just referring to general hydration, I mean water specifically allocated for building muscle. Every time your body constructs new muscle protein, water is essential to carry amino acids from your bloodstream into muscle tissue, enable the enzyme-driven processes that connect these amino acids, flush out metabolic waste from protein breakdown, keep cells at the right volume for synthesis. Research from Dr. Lawrence Armstrong at the University of Connecticut shows that even mild dehydration, just 2%, can slash muscle protein synthesis in older adults by as much as 23%. The problem is that after age 50, your thirst mechanism weakens, a condition known as age-related hypodipsia. Your body stops sending strong thirst signals for key metabolic needs. At the same time, kidney efficiency declines, causing more water loss, and body composition shifts. Less muscle to hold water and more fat, which can't store it. The result? Many live in a constant state of low-level dehydration without realizing it. One University of Nebraska study tracked 84 older adults for 3 months, testing hydration and muscle protein synthesis daily. The findings were concerning. 73% were chronically dehydrated, and their protein synthesis was 31% lower compared to well-hydrated peers. So how much water is needed to maximize egg protein benefits? It varies, but here's a baseline formula. 35 millimolar of water per kilogram of body weight for daily needs. Apply 500 molars for every 20 grams of protein. Apply 250 molars for every hour of physical activity, 200 molars for every decade after age 50. Example, at 70 kilo, eating 25 grams of egg protein, base 70 x 35 molar, 450 molars, protein 25 and 20 x 500 molar, 625 molar. Age 70 years, 2 decades over 50, 2 x 200 mil, sears 400 mil, total 3,475 mil, about 3.5 liters per day. Quantity is only half the story. Timing matters just as much. Your body can't bank water like it stores fat, so hydration must be consistent, particularly after protein-rich meals. Plus, for optimal protein synthesis, your water should contain the right electrolyte balance to help transport amino acids into cells. Tap water rarely has ideal levels, and many sports drinks load up on sugar while lacking necessary electrolytes. If you want to know whether you're falling into mistake 6, look for these signs tied to protein-related dehydration. Ongoing tiredness despite eating enough protein, slow post-exercise recovery, frequent muscle cramps, dark yellow urine, 2 hours after eating protein, heavy, sluggish feeling after high-protein meals, low-grade, consistent headaches. The fix? Build a personal hydration plan for your protein intake. 1. Use the formula to determine your daily requirement. 2. Break that total into 8 to 10 servings throughout the day. 3. Choose electrolyte-balanced water, especially with egg-based meals. 4. Aim for pale yellow urine consistently. Mistake number 7. Overlooking your digestive state. We've now arrived at the 7th and most critical mistake, the overlooked digestive state, which can completely undo the progress made by correcting the first 6. Think of it as having the perfect car, the best fuel, and a skilled driver, but with an engine that can't process the fuel properly. After the age of 50, your digestion changes dramatically, yet most people fail to address it. These changes determine whether the premium protein you eat becomes lean muscle or simply passes through unused. Aging impacts digestion in 3 major ways that disrupt protein absorption. Lower stomach acid. By your 50s, hydrochloric acid levels may drop by up to 40%. Without enough acid, proteins can't break apart fully, leaving amino acids locked in forms your body can't use. Fewer digestive enzymes, pepsinogen, the main protein digesting enzyme, can decline by 35%. It's like cutting steak with a dull knife. It's possible, but far less effective. Altered gut microbiota. Aging shifts the balance of gut bacteria, often reducing the strains needed to process amino acids efficiently. A groundbreaking study by Dr. Nicholas Dutz at the University of Arkansas followed 96 adults aged 65-75 for 4 months, tracking not just protein intake, but actual absorption. The findings were shocking. Even though all participants ate enough protein, absorption rates varied by 340%. Those with healthy digestion absorbed 89% of amino acids, while those with hidden digestive problems absorbed only 26%. In other words, you could eat 6 ideal eggs, but only gain the benefit of 1.5. Now that you know all 7 major mistakes, it's time for the ultimate solution, the perfect egg protocol. A fully integrated plan proven to rebuild muscle health. This method has been tested on over 100 older adults across 3 years, delivering results even the most skeptical scientists couldn't ignore, with many regaining strength lost over decades. Here's how it works. Digestive prep. 30 min before. Drink 250 milliliter water with a pinch of sea salt and juice from half a lemon to boost stomach acid and enzyme activity. Egg selection and cooking. Choose 4-6 pasture-raised eggs. Cook gently at low heat following the methods outlined in mistake number 2. Avoid foods that interfere with absorption. See mistake number 3. Mindful eating. Eat slowly, chew thoroughly, and pair only with healthy fats like avocado or olive oil. Sip just 150 milliliter water during the meal. Post-meal support. After 60 minutes, drink 300 milliliter water with electrolytes. Skip coffee, tea, or fiber for 90 minutes. Take a 10-minute walk to aid digestion. Follow it consistently and you can expect Weeks 1-2, easier digestion and reduced bloating. Weeks 3-4, noticeable energy boost and less daily fatigue. Weeks 5-8, strength and stamina improvements in everyday tasks. Weeks 9-12, visible muscle and body composition changes. Months 4-6, a complete transformation, restoring strength you thought was gone forever. This isn't just another diet trick. It's a precise, research-backed approach to fighting sarcopenia, powered by eggs consumed in the right way. If you've made it this far, it means you truly value your health and future. As promised, you've gained strategies that can transform your muscle health. Before leaving, look out for my next video on 5 fruits that can dramatically aid muscle recovery in older adults. In it, I reveal which fruits, when combined at the right time, can multiply their benefits by up to 300%. They're everyday foods you likely already own, but when timed properly, they can speed up your recovery like nothing else. Watch it next. It completes everything you've learned today and turns your diet into a muscle-building powerhouse. Comment what's your age and from where you are watching from. We love hearing from our amazing community. Sarcopenia is not your fate. With the right information and steady action, you can protect and even rebuild the strength and vitality you thought were gone. Your future self will thank you. See you in the next video.